All right, brother. Dude, Anthony
What's up, dude?
Cataldi.
How are you, bro?
Am I saying it right?
Cataldi.
Cataldi. There we go, baby.
People do say Cataldi.
Cataldi. Yeah, I've heard people call you Anthony
It's either
Cataldi.
Catal or Catal.
Yeah,
But it's
man.
like, is it the A or the O? Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's T-A.
Well, you're a good Italian.
Yeah,
Good Italian. That's all that matters, man.
exactly.
Awesome. So you own Studio 27 Print and Design.
Yes, sir.
We've been working with you for probably going on 7 years, 6 years now.
Yeah.
You've always performed great for us,
Thanks,
and
man. Yeah, I've run the company about 16 years now. This is my 16th year.
damn, congrats.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, 2010.
So, we also know each other through mutual friends. I think we got hooked up through a couple of mutual friends, and we started using you. And back then there was no AI. You know what I mean? So when people needed flyers done or T-shirts or letters, mailers, you were the guy to go to, man.
Yep.
And you still are. You still are. You still are. Like give the people that may be watching a little background on like what designs like do you specialize in? Like what do you love to do the most?
Yeah. I'll give you a little background of how I even got into this.
Yeah.
Well, I've been an artist my whole life.
Mhm.
So I'm 43 years old. As far as I can look back on my age and remember how old I was drawing.
Yeah.
And I was an artist. And my aunt was a drawer, and I was like, I want to be an artist. So the first dream was Disney World. I wanted to be a Disney World cartoonist.
There you go.
That was the only thing I knew as a kid.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I saw different cartoons. I started to make comics. I started to get into like the comic books, Superman and all the comics. So it started to evolve. I saw where my creativity was going. And then, I was in every art creative class in high school, did all those, and got out of high school, wanted to go into a visual communications class, which kind of got me the marketing background.
Mhm.
So I learned like a business. I had no idea what I was getting into.
That was in high school? Not
This was in college.
College?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right after high school, I went and got my degree in visual communications, which gives almost like a blend. It was almost the perfect degree at the time because I wanted an art degree. I wanted to just be an artist. I just wanted artists. I just wanted to paint, right? But this was like visual communications. They were like, you're going to learn Photoshop, you're going to learn this, but you're also going to learn Quark, Express, and you're going to learn Word, and you're going to do some background business stuff. And you're going to learn that if you want to go into the art field, how to learn how to do marketing and sales. And I was like, oh, okay. So I dabbed into that, and it was like the perfect degree because it taught me like, it was almost like a business degree.
A little bit of everything.
But one thing a business degree doesn't give you is an art degree.
Mm-hmm.
But a visual communications degree gave me like this business side and art. So I got a job doing marketing. But I was doing more sales. So I was not having hands-on artwork
you
at the
didn't
time.
love it as much.
But I was learning that rough skin that you learn in sales.
Yeah.
Like you have to knock on doors.
Yeah.
I was knocking on doors. I was like so in tune with like guerrilla marketing, like the old school, like handing out stuff. Hey, I was always like a community guy. So that job was okay, and it got me like that rough skin on like getting clients, sales. And then I was approached by somebody and said I would be really good at mortgage sales. And at the time, I had no idea what a mortgage was.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's a mortgage?" They're like, "It's a loan."
Yeah.
So I ended up working for this. It was a full commission business. And I was like, well, how do I get business?
No
like,
salary.
No salary.
No pay. You just got to go out there and grind.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where it was like jump, and I was like, okay. No idea what I was going to do. I never at that time worked and not got a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment where I was like in 2009, 2010, I started working with like a mortgage company, and I was like, I'm going to just get commission.
Yeah. Which is scary because you don't have a steady paycheck. You're like probably going from a paycheck to then doing commission, which believe me, I wish all my employees, especially being in the sales business, they would just take straight commission because then you don't have to kind of oversee, babysit. It's like, hey, if you're not selling, you're not making any money. Exactly. And the company, doesn't have to fork up a salary for you to just sit there and make sure that you're going to do your job and sell.
Exactly. It's almost like a mini business
Yeah.
you're starting if you're a commissioned employee.
Yeah. And a lot of businesses were like that for salespeople back then.
Yeah. So it's funny. I was just at that time. I was just like, well, sales calls. I was making sales calls. I was going on Craigslist, and then I started to realize I was like, hey, I need some business cards, and I was like, I need some advertising. So I was like, I know that stuff. I just learned all this.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like that clicked with me. So I started to make my own business cards, and I started to design my own things. And long story short, the whole office was like, where are you getting these cards? And I was like, I made them myself. They're like, they're awesome. Can you make them for the whole office? Yeah. And I was like, light bulb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there. It was like literally like, you got it. And then I built them. And that was my first literally like invoice.
That's awesome.
And I can remember it to this day. It was $1,100. Yeah. And that was the least I made in the last 17 years. So,
that's great. Yeah. That. At least you're not going backwards, right? Like
I mean, listen, like, you know, we're all human. We always look at the ticker. You know, it's like the stock market. It goes up, it goes down. I've had big years. I've had down years. And that's what keeps me going. When I have a down year, I don't let it get me down because I've seen myself get down and I've seen myself get up. I've been here long enough to know that.
You got to ride it out too. It's like you don't take all your money out of the stock market if it doesn't do well in a year, right?
Listen, some people do. I've done it, man. Like
it's easy. It's the easy way out, though. Like, you know, and like, don't get me wrong, like. There's times I want to quit, and it's like, it sucks. I'll just go work for someone else, or I'll sell everything. I'll have enough money to go work at Home Depot. It's like, but you know what? Like, being your own boss is decent, you know, to an extent. It's a people game when you have employees, but you never quit. Nope. Never quit. And that's like part of the reason why I wanted to start this podcast. Part of the reason why, you know, like, part of the reason why I even love doing what I do is because I know that at the end of the day, no matter how hard my day is, I'll never quit. It's just my mentality. Like, I don't want to quit.
Yeah, it kind of gives you an entrepreneur blood is like a different kind of blood. It's like you have to understand that you are the machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, and if you have a business where you're more of a top guy and there's a lot of people under you, you're still the machine. Yeah. Because if you take yourself away from it too far,
you gotta grease that machine every once in a while, though.
Chains and franchises, man, like they run with this problem all the time. They run into quality issues. It's just, and what does that look like? It's like when you become a franchise, you become like the DoorDash of food, like or the, you know what I mean? Like it just devalues your just because you wanted to get so big and blow up.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I kept my business small for 17 years. I could have blown up. I had designers asking me for a job and people like that. And I at the end of the day, I've looked at the resumes and stuff like that and thought about bringing up on different employees at different times. But I saw the same problem where, for an example, I'll give you an example. In 2015, I had some partners that I kind of partnered with in some restaurants and stuff down in the city. And they wanted to invest back into Studio 27 to help me. They were, you know, we were kind of help you, help me, help kind of thing. And so they put some money into the business. We got an office down in Northern Liberties, down at the Piazza.
That's cool.
Beautiful place. Right there. It was a WeWork building. Had like.
That's an awesome building, I heard, too. I wish I owned it.
Oh, man. It was literally like you were on a resort spa at work every day. You could go to get some coffee, free coffee, bean bags laying around.
That's cool.
And we had some offices and some desks, and our next step was to get some interns. So we're getting some interns. We got some art students and stuff. And it began, what happened I saw was a lot of the new people that get into the business in art, they come right out of school. And they learned it in a structure where it's like school, like art class, where it's like it takes some time and you're making a project. And what most artists I find that come out of school, they realize it's not art class anymore. You're working for something.
It's work now.
So it's work. So you don't get to do it your way. You're an artist. You got to do it their way. And you're a good artist, so you have to make it their way. So there was a lot of like button heads with new artists where I would give them some instructions on how the clients of Studio 27 liked their stuff. And these little artists at the time were just making it their way in their own style, and they were like, it's because it's art. So, and I get that. Art's art. You have the ability to.
Yeah, everybody has their different style of art, right?
But it's like, you know, working for Nike, and you go to work in their design department, and they're like, all right,
Yeah, we're not changing the check.
And they're like, yeah, but if
The
this
check symbol.
this check looks kind of cool, it's like, yeah, but they're like, we're now on the assembly
Yeah.
line. Like, you work for us.
We're way
now.
past that part.
Yeah, like so, and that's what happened to me when I first started in the business. When I like how I started this business, even brought down to that is the fact that when I first got out of college and I tried to get artwork, business in artwork, there was I knew I was going to start it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew that if I was ever going to be an artist and doing design work, I'm going to have to start it myself because I tried, and it was like you have to do it their way, and everyone has a way of doing things. So I found that out like the hard way, but the hard way is always a good way to learn.
Yeah, you have to lose the win at some point in business to learn that lesson, and then all right, let me regroup, let me see what I did wrong, and let's fix it, and then let's move forward tenfold now.
The way I look at it is like when you look at something and it's easy. At this point in my business, I think of there's got to be another way that might be a little bit more work, but it'll be worth it kind of thing. Because just in the trajectory of all the clients and relationships that I've had over 17 years, it's crazy. Like one thing about advertising and marketing, I can tell you right now, if you take care of your customers and your clients, you're going to spend a lot less on marketing.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's a lot of businesses, and that's what some people don't understand. Like there's guys out there in my industry, your industry, painting, every type of industry that cut corners, that do things the wrong way, and they just want that fast money, and they don't care about the warranty, they don't care about the final product. You're not going to get that residual business from that person or that their sisters or their cousins or whatever at that point in time. It's only going to set you back further and further. You just got to do it by the book, do it the right way, right?
Yeah, man. It's people cut corners all the time. I think AI is as cutting corners as people think it is.
We're gonna touch on that subject because I'm sure we can talk about that for hours, right? Right. Going back a little bit about like the guerrilla kind of like advertising or just being like a business entrepreneur and getting out there and getting your name out. Like for me, one of the things that I did, which was awesome at that point in time, was there wasn't Facebook when I started my company. So how do you get your business out there? Well, I mean, I literally sat there for probably 2 nights straight, and I made like little flyers on the computer, had them all printed out, folded them, put them in a plastic bag, and just got a bunch of rocks and put them in the bag, and I would just drive around, throw them on people's driveways.
Genius, bro.
It was like legit. Like I probably got, I don't know, I know I had like at least 400 made up at one point in time, and I would throw probably 100 a night for that week. And I would just drive around with my buddies. We had nothing else to do. We were just driving around, like wing that out the window, wing.
Oh, that's
You know, you know what I mean? And the rocks help weight it so you can wing it out the window. So my stepdad was a paper delivery guy for years, and talk about like the grind. Like, hey, if you wanted something as a kid, well, you had to wake up with Christian and bag papers at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. It was the Inquirer. There was 3 different parts. So you had to move these heavy bundles. You had to then drive around in the minivan, put those papers together, bag them, and then give them to him for him to throw out. So that's kind of where I had the idea at, was like putting that, because I at that point in time, I wanted to like stick them in the Inquirer, but it was illegal to do so. And they were like, and he was like, I'm like, can I put these in there? He's like, no. He's like, if the Inquirer finds out, I'll lose my job. So I'm like, shit, how else can I do this? And I just went out and bought a bunch of bags and, made the flyers. And that's what I did. And I just started winging them out. I got a decent amount of average, like customers from those flyers. And we're going back 20 years now almost.
And they're still your customers.
And some of them are probably still my customers to this day.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was actually that kind of like little bit of the way you did the marketing built a different relationship with the client.
Yeah. I mean, most of it was local in our area. So, once they see the flyer, then they see your trucks. I tell people all the time, people call me for business. They're like, hey, I can't get much business. I'm like, what does your truck look like? Where's the logo on the side of your truck? How are people going to know who you are when you're out there, right? Back in the day, I used to just make sure, no matter what, first thing, and I still do this, and my foremans do this to this day. Whenever we start a new job, yard sign right away. You make our yard signs, dude. We cannot thank you enough for making an awesome yard sign. But it's like, hey, I see yard signs out there that you can barely read what the client's name is when you're driving by. That yard sign is the most important thing. If they can't read it driving by, it's got to be very simple. It's got to just say your name and your phone number, if that. It doesn't have to have all the list of services you do, kind of in a sense. People only see that when they're walking their dog, not driving by a million miles an hour, right? They see that pro pool sign or that pro tree sign. They know exactly who that is as soon as they see it because they see them all over the place.
Yeah.
So
It's a mini billboard.
it's a mini billboard. I did see something today which was pretty unique. It was a power washing sign or something, but the guy was working on a house and he had a foldable sign right next to his truck in
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
Now, because he's probably not going to be there long,
No.
one day to
Great.
power wash a house, but that was
Great
pretty,
sign, yeah.
it was pretty unique. I got to talk to you too about maybe making some metal signs for all the big pool jobs because the regular stake yard signs just kind of blow over. And we're on those jobs for about a month
Yeah.
and a half at a time.
Just need something a little bit more sturdy.
Yeah,
of
need a little
course.
bit more sturdy.
Absolutely.
Let's take it back a little bit. Like I know you said, like where did you grow up and what school did you go to for people that don't really know you out there?
I was born in Bryn Mawr Hospital,
okay.
and when I was about 2 or 3, I moved to Clifton Heights.
Okay.
So I was basically born and raised in Delaware County. I graduated in 2001 from Upper Darby High School.
Nice.
I'm an Upper Darby guy.
Upper Darby.
Yeah,
There
man.
you go. It was a
And
big
then-
school too.
Yeah, dude.
Huge.
I think it was like at the time. So now this is back then, man. So you're thinking this is 25 years ago this year. It's my 25th, would be my 25th high school reunion. I think it was 800
Wow.
seniors.
We had like 365 in
Yeah.
Headcrest. That's nuts.
Yeah, so 800,
That's
like I can
nuts.
remember that.
Times
It was
the-
like,
yeah.
whoa, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, what people are now, where they're at, but yeah, it's a huge school. I love my roots, man. It's
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, like you just see where you come from. I love everyone from Delco.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like home.
Yeah.
You every time you go out, every time
It's
you
a
get
tight
around,
knit community.
it's like, what's
you know?
up? How
It
you
is.
been?
Yeah.
What's been up? Catch up.
Yeah.
And everyone knows you from the gym too.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, like you got to go an extra half hour earlier because like I'm always stopping you, chatting, beating it up with you.
It's crazy.
But like every time I go in there, I end up running into someone that I know. Like my financial advisor, I saw this morning. I ended up standing there with him for 15 minutes, and like I just want to go. I just want to work out. Like I just want to get in and get out.
Yeah.
But
Well, see, I'm one of those people you probably don't want to run into then. 'Cause
You just
well, yeah,
Off
'cause
your rail.
I love the gym for
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
I love like
Well,
it's just
networking too.
that too. Like I'm there. I give myself 2 hours, and I go 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 hours of I know if I do half-hour cardio,
Mm-hmm.
I got an hour and a half of lifting, and then I usually just run into people and
Yeah.
just have a good quick conversation, making sure everybody's good. Just kind of it's like
you should join a country club, man.
Yeah, that's that's like that's the next thing. To do just something where you can go and just have a good time, where it's not like you're going out.
Yeah.
It's like where you're just going with community.
Yeah.
People just trying to get together and enjoy themselves.
Yeah. So recently married. Congrats.
Got
That's
married
awesome.
on July 17th last year.
There you go. Almost a full year. Damn,
Yeah.
It seems like yesterday.
Because I was just talking to you guys in the gym. It seems like yesterday you were like about ready to propose to her. I remember
Yeah.
you saying you bought the ring and you were like getting ready to propose. That's awesome. So low key wedding or just
It was
Pretty
so we're
big.
gonna have a big wedding. So I have a really strong faith for Jesus,
Mhm.
and it changed my life in the last couple of years. And I met Aubrey through that
Yeah.
process, and it was just felt right. It just felt like it was the next step of my life, like the next chapter. You just feel when something's like, wow, I want to do the next part of life
Yeah.
with this person or this situation.
that's how I felt about my wife. That's why you asked someone to marry.
Yeah, and like I've been married. I was married at 27, and I was with her for 8 years, and we had a great relationship. It just wasn't what I wanted in
Yeah.
the end, and I didn't want it for a long time. And then when I
There
met
you
my
go.
wife,
Yeah.
it kind of just swapped everything around, and we just made a decision where it was just me, her, and our pastor,
Mm-hmm.
just to be married. So and it just feels good, and we're
Yeah.
gonna have a celebration, and we really feel the need.
Make sure you invite me to the wedding.
Oh, dude, come on!
The
You know
actual
that.
ceremony.
You know how I like to celebrate. We're gonna have a good
Yeah,
time.
We'll have a great time. No, weddings are fun, man. And it's like I'm sure like a lot of people, like you said, like as far as like divorce goes, or you don't you truly really believe that if you're, I mean, I did when I met Colleen. It's like when I knew she was the one within the first month of dating her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes things don't work out. It's just like business. It's a small setback,
Yeah.
and then get back on your feet and work it out.
It's more of like, it's crazy. It's like a sacrifice. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy when you meet that one person, like you sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like it's like crazy. You literally are like, oh, I'm gonna give up all the stuff I normally like to do that probably isn't good to do
Yeah.
because this person's awesome. And you're like, oh.
My photographer Noah is very very big into Christ and
Love it.
and Jesus, and I'm starting to get a little bit more like, I can't say I'm starting to, like I've always believed in Jesus, and but like I watch Sean Ryan a lot. He's a YouTuber, podcast guy, ex CIA, and he just had this guy Jeremiah Johnston on his podcast. It's a 2-hour long podcast. Did you see that, Noah?
No.
You got to watch it. It's amazing. It's amazing, and like
Yeah, I'll
more and
check it
more,
out
I'm
for sure.
believing about Jesus Christ and how everything went on because of this podcast, and but yeah, like I feel like in order to find yourself, you gotta like believe in a lot of that,
Well, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, I don't know, give me a rundown, because
I mean, I'm sure you could talk about it all day.
I could. Well,
Like,
so,
what made you go that route?
so a lot of times what you'll hear in scripture, a lot of times when you read the Bible and stuff like that, you'll find that God is close in the valley. Like, you've heard the valley of the shadow of death and
valley
stuff
of
like
shadow.
that, right? So, and he's near to the brokenhearted. So if you think about that, it's like a lot of people find their relationship with him when they're broken, and they're down, and they're in the valley. And if you think about it, with our generation, most people that, if you look at where would you see most of those people? I mean, addictions, addicts, drug addictions, and stuff like that. And then people go through AA, they go through the book, the big book, and they find God, because there's this way of the fact that they've been so broken, right? So me, I went through many, many different times in my life that probably should have broke me, probably more than broke me. But I had a good spirit in me. I have the entrepreneur, it's like, there's people out there that are going to keep getting beat, but they're going to be like, well, I'm going to figure out a different way to do this.
Yeah.
And they keep moving.
Yeah.
So I was just like kind of one of those people throughout all my relationships and the situations that happened that just put me into a depression. I got into a really big depression. I got depressed. I lost like 35 pounds just from not eating. It just went through this crazy thing in my life, and different people gotten removed from my life. And then I meet Aubrey, and then someone drags me to church. And the crazy thing about it is I grew up Catholic.
yeah,
So
so did I. But were you always a church goer? Like,
No.
I feel like I
grew up Catholic, and I was in church. My mom drugged me to church for
Used to hate it as a little kid.
so probably I was probably 13, because I can remember I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I got my confirmation, I got my baptism when I was born, and I got my confirmation name. I did all that, and then after I started to go out with my friends and do my own thing, church didn't exist.
It wasn't.
No, it didn't exist. So then I just went on my own, and so now I'm 43 years old. So you can just imagine, like 25, 30 years
You don't look
of
43,
no going
by
to
the
church. The only time I've been in church is a funeral,
Yeah.
a wedding ceremony,
Yeah.
and a holiday.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's probably 90% of people.
So
that
do
walk around.
do you go every Sunday now?
Yeah. So what happened was a friend of mine where I was living, and this is how God talks to us now. Like you don't see the miracles and stuff you read about and the stuff. The way he talks through people now, I have an understanding, is that it's like through people in your life, and
I believe that
things
too.
like, you might be praying for
good.
something,
Yeah.
something shows up at your doorstep, and you don't know where it came from. I mean, listen, he's got his way. But and I was going through a really rough time, and I knew this guy from the gym, and we were really good friends. You just you just have that good vibe with somebody.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, aren't you moving to King of Prussia?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Where do you live in King of Prussia?" I was like, "I live at the Smith." He's like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna check him out." 3 months later, I haven't seen the guy in 3 months. Now I'm going through my depression. I come out of my door, and he pops out, slides his head out, the next door next to me. I'm
No
like,
way.
yo, You moved in? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, and I used your name. They're going to give you a free rent.
That's awesome.
I got a free month's rent. The dude moves in. And I was crying one night and he came in. He's like, come to church with me on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, man, it's not my thing. And he's like, dude, just come and see. And I was like, all right. So I went. And the rest is history because I went and something that you'll learn. God uses His Holy Spirit, and it just when it runs through your body, you just cry. You just feel it. It's just like an energy that is beyond our understanding. And I'm not going to sit here and try to explain it, bro. But it's something that drove me to basically we all have doubt. Every one of us has doubt, and the best part about doubt, it gives you that urge to dig.
It does.
And I mean, what's this podcast called?
Dirt to dollars, man.
Okay. So start digging, bro. If you start digging on who Jesus was and how much He loves us and what the purpose of us here and how much we can rely on Him on our day-to-day daily thoughts on everything we're doing, life is just different. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, with having like the younger kids, it's tough to like wake up on Sunday and bring them to church and like having them sit through church and all. But like I told my wife, I'm like a couple months ago, I'm like, I want to go to church.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something right now. So
I do. Like I feel like I need it. Not that I'm in like a depression mode, but I'm in like that build mode, and like I feel like having Him behind me and having the Lord behind me to grow to that next level.
That's it.
Every successful person that I've ever met, like very successful, millionaires, billionaires, stuff like that, other podcasters and stuff like that, they always put Christ first or, and church first. And then they strictly live by that.
Well, it's crazy because like what you were just saying, where you feel like this, it's not like a depression, but you feel like this emptiness, like stuff. So like, I mean, you know me, you've known me for that long. I mean, I have a business. I just talked about how successful it is. I drove around $250,000 sports cars.
Your car made me want to get one.
I mean, I drove around in literally a Delco house. The average Delco price $250 is driving around. I was driving around that to and from the gym. Crying in the front seat, depressed. So that shows you something.
Yeah, money doesn't buy happiness, but
so like there was an emptiness, and it's not even like another person. It's not the love. It's just like I realized it was in me, and like literally God implanted His Holy Spirit in each one of our hearts. That's good. And like that's where we're walking around with Him as like a co-pilot, riding this life. And if you tap into Him, you'll feel it. If you don't, you'll feel it. And eventually, it's almost like a long game. And we don't have any patience. I don't have patience, and like that's what I realized when I'm angry. I realized that, and this is something that He has lifted in my eyes to see, because I would never be able to see
I mean, I have ADHD, and that was my problem being I'm sure everyone has ADHD, but like I have it to where like I couldn't sit still when I was little in church, and I would just be tapping my foot, be looking around, bored, and I wouldn't really be listening to it. So I feel like that's why like I'll have a problem going now, but I think with the patience side of things, like I've also calmed down a little bit more now, and I feel like I was just gonna push myself to get it done. And I just gotta take that step.
Well, the crazy thing, and a lot of people that are really into the religion and have a lot of things, there's always like an up and down feeling with what I'm about to say. But I mean, you don't have to go to church on Sunday. Like Jesus never really said, "Hey, go to a building on Sunday, and if you don't go to a building, you're not going to have a relationship with me." He never said that. He said, "Go out and be the church," which is basically be the church, because basically the whole point of having a relationship with Jesus is He's going to save your heart. Basically, like, because our hearts are not saved, from birth. They're born into a world
there's some nasty people out there too, man.
We're just into everything we're not supposed to be into. Vaping. I mean, I vape. So it's at the end of the day, you're still doing something that is bad for you, and you're hoping that you stop before it kills you. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you got to thank God for that grace. The fact that you even had that time.
Yeah.
Right? You have that time. Like because if you think about it, if today He was going to put His foot down and you were going to have to list out everything that you're not doing right, you'd be done.
Yeah.
You're like, thank the Lord that I can do this on my own. And
I mean, it also like felt good back in the day, like giving your Holy Communion and like confessing and going to confession and, just getting those things off your chest, because it's like, who do you tell? Like sometimes like I keep it in, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for like my wife, she gave birth to a stillborn and it crushed her, but I didn't know how to coddle her in a certain way because I'm not like the coddling type. You know what I mean? Like she wants a hug. That's all she wanted. But like I kind of mourned in the shower. You know what I mean? Like I didn't open up to her enough, and it hurt her feelings a lot. But I didn't know how to deal with it. And looking
Well, life will
back,
teach you that.
yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
trying to say.
Well,
It's like
I'm
it's
saying
not
like
this.
looking back, like
Yeah.
that's kind of it's not why I want to go. It's I want to go just to kind of like take it all in now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like listen to the verses, listen to you know the priest, kind of explain those different chapters in the
Yeah.
Bible and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
all and, like that's the thing. It's like it's all about who you're getting your information
Yeah.
from. So you have
Yeah.
like, and I'm not going to talk. I don't judge anybody, but I know there is a lot of evil pastors and a lot of evil people out there, and a
Yeah.
lot of people spreading bad information. So
Yeah.
it's all about what you hear and what you want to listen to and
Yeah.
what you want to believe.
What,
so that's,
what church do you go to?
I go to Journey in Phoenixville.
Okay.
It's a non-denominational Christian church
That's cool.
really just
Yeah.
about the relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is they have kids. So
There you go.
so you could bring, if you, your wife, how many kids you have?
7.
You have 7 kids. Wow. Okay. So you can, how old are they?
From 20 to 3.
Okay. So
So the younger 3 are with me full time, and then my stepdaughter.
okay. So a lot of them are like teenagers, and then there's
Mhm.
some younger ones.
Yeah.
So the real younger ones, like who would be like people that would have enjoy playing like like an Easter egg hunt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
boys,
mean,
like-
all 3 of the younger ones.
So it's
love
cool.
that.
Yeah, you come to Journey, and then you basically there's like a whole row of like iPads, and you just put your name in, and like you'll set yourself up so every time you come, you put Piazza,
Yeah.
and then it has all their names. You check them out; they all get a little name tag,
Oh, that's cool.
and they go in, and it has all the ages. They all hang out with all the kids.
Oh no.
that-
Why you're in church?
Wow, the men go to or the men and women go to their adult church. All the kids go to the kids' church, and they
Yeah.
have a full sheds, and there's
Something to look
like
forward
it's
to on a
kiddie,
Sunday too.
and you separation. It's like awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's a great thing with families. I see it all, and like maybe that's why I want to have a family now. I don't
Yeah,
know,
well, are you
but
ready or what, man? You gonna
I
have some
am,
kids?
man. I am, man.
You're getting to that point,
I'm
man.
43,
You're
no
43,
kids, man.
dude.
Yo, but listen, now you see
Yeah.
like what my life, that silver lining in my life. I just see there's a path for everything,
Yeah.
and I want to have kids now. Like,
Dude,
it's
kids
like,
are the
hey,
best thing ever.
you know,
Like,
so
I legit had kids at a very young age, and I was like, dude, I got to do something to support these kids. And it ain't cutting working, making $600 a week. It wasn't cutting it, so that's why I ended up starting my own business. But looking back now, I'm so glad I had these kids. When I was 17, 18 years old, I'm like, how the hell am I can't even raise my damn self. How the hell am I going to raise a couple kids? But looking back now, it's like my son works for me. Love that he's here every day. Love that I get to see him. And my daughter comes in and hangs out. It's like, I love them and I would never take it back, but it was tough. It was growing up was tough. It was like every other weekend they're with you. And you're either going to take them out or, find something to do with them. But it was just like finding those little things to do with them were so cool because I would have never done that at that young age if I didn't have kids. I would have probably, been in jail or
Yeah.
dead by now,
It's,
like-
it's crazy when I think about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've done everything but that.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, I've
Everything
jumped out
but
of a
that.
plane.
Yeah.
I've jumped out of a plane.
You
Sports
lived your life,
cars,
yeah.
women, house,
Yeah.
money. Like
Yeah.
it's like, what else do
Now
you
need
want,
kids,
man? Right?
Well, I'll give you mine. I'll give you a couple of mine for a weekend. see if you really want kids.
Well, because I'm getting an understanding.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of outside yourself.
Yeah.
And you probably can understand that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you put your life into these kids
Yeah.
that you have.
Yeah, you
and,
do.
And that's,
you really
and
do.
you have to accept that. It's
Yeah.
like you're done.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was on the other end of the spectrum, so I didn't like physically like raise the kids all day long every day, and I
Yeah,
can
you're
see
out
how
there making
I was
money,
out there
how
making the
to-
money,
yeah.
but I could see how it is stressful as all hell raising a kid from sun up to sundown. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's why I like to give my wife a little breather time every now and then, but she does a phenomenal job. But it is tough. It's tough. It's tough
Yeah.
raising kids, but there's nothing more rewarding either. Like to
That's what I
see your
hear,
kids
man.
grow up, put them to bed, run in, scream, "Daddy, daddy, daddy." It's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah, I
So
know.
you need to have
I
a couple
know,
kids,
it's
bro.
getting me there. It's getting me there. I'm there. The butterflies are there. Like, I'm excited about
That's
it.
good.
So, like, what do you think separates a good design from a great design in your eyes?
You know,
So, like, good design between like something that, like, depending on like logos. Are we talking about?
Yeah, like
business
how?
cards?
Yeah, like I guess there's a million different designers out there, and some of them
Yeah.
really, really stink, and like don't really get the point across of what like your client envisions, right? So
Mhm.
how do you see that for your client? Is it like, hey, give me a description of what you want, how you want it? Because I've just told you things that I want, and you just blow it out of the water, every time. So
It's funny. I run my business like that.
yeah,
Because it's like I've been doing it so long. It's like if you're a plumber and somebody asks you to fix a pipe, you have an idea what you're going to do.
yeah,
You know what tools you're going to bring.
yeah, yeah.
You just know.
You just know.
So it's like me being a designer, and you're like, you give me the info. I already know what you want.
Yeah.
So and I'm not saying that that's just something like having an idea, maybe a little bit more of an outline. So if you get the more information you get from the client, I think makes the better design. So like because I could design something from scratch and it could be a home run, but it doesn't always work like that. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna get somebody that's like, that it looks really cool, I love it,
but
it's not what I want. And so what I run into if I get those kind of clients, like somebody will be like, hey, and I need a logo. I'm like, okay, what do you want it to look like? I don't know. You're the designer.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second. You want me to design you a logo, but you don't really know what you want it to look like. They're like, yeah, you're the creative guy. You're the designer. I want to pay you to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to design it 5 times and it still not be right.
It's like I still need an idea. Like I'm not an idea guy.
Yeah.
I'm a designer, which means I design the
off of your
idea. So a lot of my clients come to me and they want the idea. So I think a good design from a really great design is the idea.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you look at that and it's like a design's a design and you can get into design, but if you have more of exactly like what it wants, because everyone's good design it's just like the eye of the beholder. It's one good design to someone is another person's piece of trash.
Yeah,
and it's like
absolutely.
or someone else's piece of trash is someone else's gold.
Yeah, someone else's
Same thing.
gold.
It's how it works. Like so I kind of like that's why I kind of like have to dig with each one of my clients. Like, what do you want? Because you're not my last client. I'm very versatile. I can make it, but you need to give me a little something.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love the way you designed those little postcards for us for direct mailers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You'd put some pictures in there, you'd have the colors that I wanted, and everything would look great. And we'll touch on this soon, but like AI, it looks like AI. Everyone now is posting these little AI things, and I'm not gonna lie, I do it here and there because it's just a quick thing, right? It's like, hey, if a storm's coming, boom, it's just like a small text, it's done, right? And you pay for it some way. People think it's free, but you're paying for ChatGPT and all that bullshit. But it gets the point across, but it still looks like AI. It doesn't look like somebody like you designed it. You know what I mean? So many people are doing it now. You can tell, oh, that's AI, that's AI, that's AI, that's AI, and anybody can make themselves look beautiful through that kind of AI design software and stuff like that. So,
well, it's funny. Like speaking of like, do you want to touch on AI now or?
Well, yeah. Let's touch a little bit on AI because does that? And the first question that I have for you, like, is that hurting your business or helping your business in a sense? And that might be 2 separate questions, but
like,
I would say long term it's hurting. Short term it's helping.
Yeah.
So because short term you're getting some quick little thing, you're not paying for it, and you're getting some stuff out there just to get people drumming. The long term effect is your flyer looks like everybody else's flyer.
Correct.
So
and that's
now,
why I
so it's like you now become part of everyone else that's doing the same thing. Everybody else is using ChatGPT and AI for their flyers. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. They're not paying for it. They're getting free stuff. Eventually, everybody's going to start seeing the same flyer.
Yeah.
Your uniqueness of a business now
away.
gets saturated with everybody else's AI flyers.
Yeah.
And then so it's funny because you could tell the difference when you see like a flyer I designed versus a AI flyer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can
tell 100%.
And at the end of the day, when I see clients of mine and people out there posting flyers that are AI, I don't get angry. I get like, I hope they realize what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hope they like. I know I get it. I'm a person, and I like to
Yeah.
spend as least money as possible.
Yeah.
And it's easy. But like, I know this guy. And these guys are really like, you know, hard workers and work ethic, and they've been in business for 20 some
Yeah.
years. Why are they doing this?
Mm-hmm.
It's like why are you
Almost going
desensitizing your
Yeah.
business? Like, and I even went in. I dove deeper into this issue into my chat because I have chat.
Yeah.
I use chat for my business, but
Yeah.
my business, what it is it's more of like an assistant. Like I might need it to give me an idea for something that I'm designing, and it will tell me, and it will show me or something like that, and I utilize it like that. Because even if you could use AI to get a product that you need, you can't get it down to the file source that you really need it for printing.
For printing.
And I'm running into that the same problem. And I see that.
So they're sending you now the logos or
Yeah.
the stuff.
We basically, you know, I have clients that will basically have something designed, and then they'll want to print so much stuff with it, and then they'll give me the AI artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask them that I need this specific artwork for, you know, in printing world, there's a specific file you need to get things cut
Yeah.
and printed, and AI can't do that.
Yeah.
At this point right now, they can give you PDF, but it's just a flattened thing.
Yeah.
You still need a hands-on designer.
Mm-hmm.
So every one of my clients that has AI stuff, I've still touched it.
Yeah.
I've still
you
touched
still
on
have
it.
to do
Still
some work.
on it. Yeah. So I see it as like long term, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Short term.
Do you have like
just
a
to get some
like do you
stuff
have
done.
like a backup plan for that, or like are you moving towards like
I use AI in my business.
You
So
use it now.
if it takes over at one point, it's gonna be doing my job.
yeah
Which means I'm gonna be charging people, and I'm gonna be having a robot do my work
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
But at that point,
that's-
everyone's gonna
yeah
be doing that.
everyone
I think I'll be worried, and this is, you know, it could be a joke for some people, but I'll be worried when there's a helmet that we can all buy, and it goes on our head for 2 seconds, and you take it up, and it has your perfect hairstyle that you want, buzzed. You know, even the fade is perfect.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, boom, no haircut, no
Yeah,
barber, done.
yeah
When that comes out,
barbers are screwed.
I'll be worried about my artwork, you know,
Yeah.
because it's the hands
You might
on.
not see that time. man.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like the barbers hands on, you need that
you need
artist,
that
right?
hands on.
Artwork. Yeah, you can get AI to give you an image of what you want it to look
Yeah.
like, but if you really want it to be unique in yours and be usable, you need that hands-on
Yeah.
touch that's
Yeah.
gonna know
I
what
f-
to do.
I feel like for the trades, it's like, all right, AI is never going to come in and take this business to like hands on, like you said, right?
Mhm.
Like, there's not going to be a bunch of robots building patios, building pools. Like,
You
they're
never
not,
know, man. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like it's going to be like really, really hard for the AI to actually figure that out. Like, what is
Exactly.
does a truck, do you buy a truck full of these robots? Do they pull up and then hop out and start building the pool? Like,
Yeah.
how the hell what if there's a change in the field? Like, with
Exactly.
our pools,
Problems.
there's small changes, there's problems. Like, now who's fixing that, right? Because is there someone overseeing these robots in the field and telling them to make those changes? What if they make a change and the customer doesn't like that change, but they
Exactly,
have
dude.
the whole thing done already? Now what? You know, so like I feel like, but then again on the other side, like, you know, for one of my CRMs, our estimating software, it's a company out there, and I don't want to disclose the company yet, but because I'm using it and it's really helping us out a little bit. But basically, I take a sheet of paper, and we have our designs that are on the sheet of paper. So we design a pool, we design a hardscape, and everything, right? That then is on CAD or Pool Studio, right? We're able to then input that design in that CAD file to our CRM. We upload it, and we just give a brief information of what we're doing there, and it takes those plans, that brief information, and creates a whole estimate for us right away. So we don't have to sit there and type all these crazy
Yeah, see,
quotes now.
I think that's
So
awesome.
that's good for like saving us time
That's
in
like
the
more
office.
processing.
It
See what I'm
is.
saying?
It is. And I'm okay with using that, but I'm stuck in the old world technology kind
Yeah.
of feel like part of reason why is because I hate navigating through computers. I hate looking at a computer screen and just, sitting at a desk all day. It's just, I built my company with my hands,
Yeah.
my company's with my hands. Like I'm used to just kind of working with my hands and getting it done,
Yep.
because by the time you input that information in the system, it may be wrong. You still have to go through and proofread it and proof through it too. So kind of stemming with, I guess, what you're saying is like, even though people have AI or may send you something, you still have to touch it. You still have to go through, render it in a certain software for it to be able to be print ready, stuff like that.
Yeah, it even says at the bottom, it's like chat and AI is not perfect.
It's not.
It's like literally says
it's not.
It's
like,
not. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do clients understand the value of a design, or do they try and lowball you all the time? Because I feel like they don't understand what you really do, right?
No,
like they don't.
Like they don't understand because, and this is a perfect concept. So someone will call and ask me for something, and they'll be like,
I've done it before.
Yeah.
I'm guilty.
No, it's different
like
though.
Once or twice, but I still use you for everything.
Listen, some of the stuff you're asking me for and ask me for is easy. And when it comes off easy and I say it's cheap and it's going to be that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is people that specifically know me. They've known me for a long time. They know my talents. Like will request something from me. And they'll be like, come on, bro. That's going to take you like 2 seconds.
Yeah, we're in 2 seconds.
Like I give them a bill.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, come on, bro. You give me that bill, bro. That took you, 20 minutes? And I'm like, bro.
You're not paying for the time.
It took me 25 years
yeah.
to learn how to do that in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Bro. That's what you're paying me for.
Yeah.
You're paying me for my time to do this. It doesn't matter if I like blink my eye and it's done. And it's done, you're still paying me my bill.
Yeah.
No matter if we know each other and it's just, I get that a lot where people are like, come on, can you do this real quick? Like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to send you a bill and I'm still going to do that no matter how easy it is for me.
Yeah.
Because I know it's easy for me because I learned how for it to be easy.
20 some years to do that.
For it to be easy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't always easy.
Yeah.
Just like it's
do
not
you
easy
have problems
for you.
getting paid after the fact then?
Like
not
now
and then.
Because I work with a lot of deposits.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Yeah, deposits are
long
great.
time ago. Like because it's like if somebody's going to be very interested in working with you, they're going to pay a deposit.
They're willing to pay a deposit. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that do want to get. They're like, hey, can you make me a logo? Can you show me what it's going to look like? That don't want to pay a deposit.
Pay.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, no, man. Like it's not. That's not how it works. I mean, my time is my time. If I'm going to have a schedule and have you in my schedule and have to sit down and draw and my whole day is about you. I'm getting paid
're
for that.
getting paid for it. Absolutely. You better get paid for it.
And you could be like, hey, I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll go back to the drawing board. And then I've had clients that would basically design something. They would pay for the deposit and they would just go ghost for like 3 months. And then after 3 months, they come back and they'd be like, I decided to stay with my old logo. So can you give me a refund on the deposit?
Absolutely
and
not.
I'm saying
There's
absolutely not because you paid me for my time.
Yeah. Then
you wanted me to
kind of
design
feel
you
like
a logo.
the bad guy.
I
but
did. And they threw it at me and they made me feel like a bad guy.
Yeah.
And they were like, but and it's funny because I made it right with the person and I knew and they just called me and made a new order.
It's
so let bygones be bygones, right?
Exactly.
Let's just move on.
Business is so tough, man. Like I just had a very good client that we did probably, I don't know, they paid me probably about $70,000. They still owe me about $13,000. They just tried to chip me out on that $13,000. And I did them a solid. So like we were a little slow with the carpentry crew through the winter. We still had work, but we just pushed that work back because it was outdoor stuff.
Yep.
Some of it was indoor stuff. I just gave them a day rate. I'm like, look, you know how my guys operate. This is a lot of work. If you want me to bid all this in specific different details, I can, but it's probably going to come well over what you're paying me now. I'm just being honest with you. Keep us busy. It's $1,200 a day for 2 guys and a carpentry crew. That seems like a lot, but at the end of the day, to run a business, it's not.
No.
It's a truck out there every single day. It's 2 guys out there every single day. And I'm not talking about cheap guys. Like I pay these guys over $35 an hour. At a 10-hour day, that's $350 each guy, right?
Yeah.
That's a decent amount of money. $1,200 is barely cutting it. So I did all this work for them, and they pay me throughout those stages. I think they paid me twice. They gave me a deposit, material, the labor. I mean, it was a couple month long job. Well, at the end of the job, everything's done, and now they owed me 30 grand, and they didn't want to pay me the 30 grand. They're like, "Oh, well, you didn't tell us that it would take an extra 10 days for this." Well, you kept adding things on. What do you like? Of course it's going to take longer. That's why I work by the day, because if you come add as much shit on as you want, I'll have my guys shovel all the shit on your front yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now what do I do? Like, I got to take them to court. They ended up paying me 18 grand, and they were like, "Well, think about paying you the rest." I said, "Think about paying me the rest? It's $13,000. I'm a small business. I'm not some huge corporation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can eat that 13
Exactly.
grand. Like, that's BS. You know what I mean? You knew what my day rate was. You added more work on. Pay me, because I don't want to have to come knock on your door.
That's why deposits
You know what I mean?
work, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sure.
and that just goes to show, like, I was just doing them a solid. I was trying to help them out. I was trying to save a little bit of time between breaking everything down little by little. You know, it was just like, hey, here's my rate for the guys for the day. And they were super happy. At the end of the job, they were super happy until they got that bill.
Yep.
Isn't that some bullshit? That's the stuff that we have to deal with as
All the
business
time,
owners.
dude.
It really
All the
does
time.
suck. You know? What do people not understand about how designs actually make money? Because that's a big thing right there. You understand?
Yeah. So
Like-
you're saying like how having a better design.
Better design, logos, like we touched on about having, logos on your trucks. You know, like advertising, logos, and marketing makes money, right, for your company.
Yep.
Like, how do you think that, like, if somebody doesn't have a logo, like a design or the proper logo, like what information can you give them? Like, hey, spend X amount on, come up with a budget essentially, and spend X amount on advertising and marketing.
Well, I tell every person I meet that's a new client, when they're first coming to me with everything, I explain to them how important like branding is.
Yeah.
Because the core is the branding, right? It's your brand.
So I tell everybody.
That's the whole point. The logo. It's
look
like
at BJ's. Look at Nike.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so the brand
logo sucks, but
like a logo is just basically a piece. It's the puzzle of the brand. So the brand's the key. Branding. It's like all that. So you have, I think, when it comes down to the core branding, you basically have to make sure everything kind of goes with itself, and it kind of goes together like puzzle pieces. From logos down to letterheads, down to this, down to customer service, down to that. But like even going back to the design aspects, I always think that. So when I design things, I always create things that. How can I create this design that's going to make it stand out from its competition,
from everyone else?
I research the industry on what I'm working. If I'm designing something for landscaping, I'll research the industry. I'll see other people's landscaping logos, what they did, what they're doing, and what I can do in this logo that will make this stand out from all those people. And then I even go down a little deeper, where it's like I'll see something in the logo that I will see that will spill into the business card, that will spill into flyers. Oh, this looks
Digital
incredible
stuff,
as a keychain. Like this looks good.
People will wear that. People will put that on their back.
People will wear that.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. Like, so like I always try to do something like that, because if I can hit a spike like that on it kind of turns into a residual client. Well, they're like, wow, okay, so I'm just gonna stick with you, and whatever I need, I'll come back.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of built my business.
And touching on that, like, I had the chance to meet Tommy Mello, who's an entrepreneur, garage door guy. I mean, he built his company up to a couple $100 million company. This dude's probably a little bit older than me and you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Huge company. But he said something that kind of really stuck in my head, like, do anything to get in front of your client base. Anything. It's like the guy, Jesse Cole, that dresses in, Savannah Bananas, that dresses in all yellow jumpsuit, right? Like, do anything to get in front of your clients. He's like, I even thought about making up urinal things and just throwing them in every single urinal when I go out to eat. Like,
Dude, it's a great
that's
idea.
mind blowing. It's a great idea. Piss on me all you want. I
Yeah.
don't care. You know what I mean? You can piss on me all day long. By the way, can you make those for me?
I can, dude.
Okay,
I can.
because I'm gonna
I
put them
can.
you'll see them in the edge, right in the gym. You know what I mean? It'll make everyone else in there salty. I do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I do want a couple of those. Just
We got to come up with a really cool saying, like
Yeah.
a real, like so when someone's looking down.
Yeah. I don't cut grass anymore. But don't piss on my lawn. That would be a good one. But don't piss on my pavers. Yeah, you know what I mean? And have the logo of the pavers. But yeah, something like that, unique, like staying outside the box. And this is why I go to all these seminars. I spend a lot of money going to these seminars to try and learn. Like Tommy Mello, the best thing he said he ever did was, I think, put the logo of himself on the side of the truck in a cartoon character. Now you see everybody doing that now, branding. So
That's
I mean,
it's
it's a
gets
great idea.
saturated. Though.
It does.
So
it
like,
does.
it's like if, and that's like there's a company out, you know, because I have to see my competition.
Mhm.
There's a company out there that does all the wraps around here, and you can actually like notice that they're all similar.
Mhm.
Like the guys when there's two guys on the
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
and there's a fish,
Yeah.
then there's a turtle, then there's the
Yeah.
plumber.
Yeah.
It's all like looks like
All
clip
thumbs
art,
up, yeah,
something
clip art,
from
yeah.
like an AI thing. It's
Mhm.
like, and it gives it that, and then the MVP plumbing.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's the same. It looks like they all work for the same company. They just have different names.
Yeah.
Like that's the way. And I'm an artist.
Yeah.
So that's what I see. I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, but I mean, good power to them, man. They're getting a lot of business.
Yeah,
out
I mean,
there.
you do got to brand yourself though in that sense.
You do.
You know, and you got to do a good job. You have to market, and you have to execute on what you're selling. And that's the biggest thing for any kind of advertiser or kid or young company out there starting a business. Is just like get your name out there, do good work. You
Yep.
know, and that's why we use you to design anything we can.
Listen,
Design for us.
I've been doing this for like 16 years, and something that I've always realized with all my clients is when they invest in the branding,
Mm-hmm.
they could tell you that their business is twofold. Because
Yeah.
I've seen people when they didn't spend money on
You
their branding.
you gotta invest
You know?
in yourself and your business. I don't know. There's a rule of thumb. I think it's like 10%. And a buddy of mine, Rick's Tree Service, he told me that. He's like, Jim, if you're not spending at least $8,000 a week on advertising, if you want to grow, you need to spend the money.
I mean, it's definitely how you
gotta
grow,
spend.
for sure.
You gotta spend.
Yep.
And it sucks. Don't get me wrong. It sucks because nowadays it's like, who do we advertise with? It's like I have no idea where to go. Because either the direct mailers aren't working as much, or this isn't working as much, and it's like there's so many advertising marketing companies out there. It's like who do you end up choosing?
Mhm.
Because if you spend $8,000 and it doesn't work out, now you're like, shit, I just spent all this money and it's a couple month contract or something like that, and we're not getting any leads. Because there are some guys out there that just aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing in advertising as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of like the direct mail. I think like, cause like, depending on how many you're sending out, I mean, if you get one call, right? It pays
Correct.
for itself.
Yeah.
One.
One call.
And I think what it is,
Especially with the size jobs we're doing too.
yeah. And then if you create even another step where, like, you can utilize the QR code kind of way, and of just like, because everyone just kind of likes to scan things, but if you just put that code on your mail and it's like $2,000-3,000, I mean, you're guaranteed to get some calls. I mean, they might be even warm leads.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of advertising other than if you're going out physically next to somebody and you're handing them a card.
Well, we keep a spreadsheet with those warm leads, even if they don't call in, but you have their emails now.
Yeah.
So, if they call in, they give their information, even if they don't use you for a job, now you have them in a file, and then you can do a blast marketing mailer, or you do emails once a week, once a month, or whatever, Couple more questions, man. I appreciate you coming in again. Some people might want to know. I personally have an idea in the back of my head on what like my biggest job was, but what's the biggest check, man? You think you've ever like what was your proud moment on like, all right, I deposit this check? Because I know you bought that car with it. Probably.
So I have some really good friends that worked in the taxi industry.
Okay.
Now this was before Uber.
Yeah.
So back before Uber in New York, I was friends with a guy who ran a yellow cab.
Wow.
which was
Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, they were everywhere. So
Was he the owner or he just
he was
ran
the
it?
owner
No shit.
of it, and it was he owned Freedom Taxi in Philadelphia, and then in Yellow Cab, and he had some New York taxis. And I went to the Christmas party. I was really doing, and what they were printing, which was they were printing air fresheners, they were printing water bottles. So they were getting they're basically giving water bottles to all their cab drivers.
Mhm.
So like a cab driver could take 10 to 15 water bottles to give out to the whoever
during
the
the day,
clients
yeah.
are that are driving in the cars, the
smart.
customers.
Yeah.
And the label had like New York taxi cab and
Mhm.
all that, and a little code and all that stuff. And they were printing them by the tens of thousands. So I think my biggest check for myself was like maybe like 40,000.
That's huge.
For one check, one order.
One order.
Yeah,
That's huge.
It was crazy,
Yeah.
and it was like,
Don't you wish you could have like one of them a week?
yeah. And I saw when Uber came out, you know, I obviously lost that client,
Yeah.
and I got so depressed.
Yeah.
Like anybody would if you're making.
yeah.
Dude, I was making like $75,000 in 2 months between one person. So I was like, this is a great job.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously I lost that client over the years, but I got other clients that fulfilled the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't get one client spending 30-some thousand. I got multiple clients, and it was 30, you know.
Yeah.
I've had multiple 30-some thousand, $40,000 months.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But it was multiple different orders having to accumulate that.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right?
Where do you see your business going from now? Like, do you want to grow? You want to stay at the same size that you're at now? Like,
it's growing right now. We just got a new office.
That's cool.
We opened basically March 1st.
Okay.
I'm over here in media. Not too
cool.
far.
Yeah.
And my wife, she basically takes over my promo division of the business. So we have a whole separate side. So obviously I'm a designer and I print all the stuff and the paper stuff, but we have a whole separate promotional side of the business. So we have, like, you know, the hats and the shirts and the watches and necklaces and balls and keychains and bags, and I mean it's
You name it,
sunglasses. I mean anything you could buy out there at the store that has a logo on it, we can print it.
That's awesome.
So that's a whole different business.
Yeah.
So
Did she come from the marketing
she
or
used to run
background?
a real estate company.
Okay.
So she basically was the executive assistant to the owner. So she knew that whole side of the business.
Yeah.
Deadlines.
And marketing, it's like real estate is just all.
And she deals with it, and she's great at it.
Yeah.
And she's like the promo queen. That's what I call
That's
her.
awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, see it
that's cool,
growing,
man.
bro.
That's good. Keep it up. You know, I mean, it's you just got to put in the time, right? You just got to put in the time. If you don't have any kids right now, just keep killing it right now.
Even if I do have kids, I'm gonna do
get
whatever.
them in there working. Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna do whatever I can, the best I can.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll just
awesome,
keep
man.
Moving, bro.
Well, thanks for coming in
Yeah,
again.
dude, come on,
it's
bro.
great to see you, brother.
I love you, dude.
I know, I love you too, man.
Absolutely.
I need you to print those urinal.
I got
those
you.
urinal things. I just been like laying in bed.
We're gonna
thinking
check
about
on that.
Yeah.
See if he orders.
We
that.
gotta get 300 of those printed up, and then I'm gonna give them to all my people and just, hey, whenever you're in the bathroom. I mean, it's good. Well, only men, I guess, can do them because you just throw them. You don't want to throw them in.
I'll have to come up with a really good slogan. It'd be funny with something with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Yeah,
buddy.
it's a really good one.